Good afternoon, and today's session is going to be a introduction to the Ice House Entrepreneurship Program. So we're going to learn exactly what it is. We're not going to go into full details because that would be during the class. So we're going to do some introductions, and if you're online and you're able to drop in the chat your name and maybe what you would get out of possibly taking the Ice House 5-day course, you can communicate with us inside the chat. And of course, in the room, we're going to do some introductions as well. Just some quick introductions, because when I do introductions, I do 10-minute introductions. So we're going to try to keep it around 30 seconds if I can do that, okay? I'll try to set the right tone. But we're going to do, I want to introduce my wife. So we're Eric and Swanzetta Stevenson. Grab your microphone. Grab your microphone. We're amongst family. Come on in. We're amongst family. We're amongst family. Yeah. So we're Eric and Swanzetta Stevenson, and we're Ice House certified facilitators. So in a nutshell, the Ice House Facilitator program is designed to help people cultivate a different mindset when it comes to being in school, being an employee, being an employer, utilizing I'm gonna make up a word, the specialness of the entrepreneur mindset that the average person doesn't have. So that's what the Ice House program is designed to do. And there are 8 core concepts in the program, and we'll kind of touch some of those. But I'll go first. I'm Eric, and as an entrepreneur, keep it short. I have a consulting firm. It's called Madison Consulting Firm. It's named after our daughter, our oldest daughter, Madison. And I've been doing that since I retired from the military. I did 20 years in the Navy. I retired in 2012. So if y'all age guessing, you can do your own math, okay? You can figure that out for yourself. But I went straight into like business consulting. I had a friend that had a trucking company, and it was kind of old school. They weren't really using computers a lot. So it allowed me to go in and see the problems that they had, and we brought them into the future by implementing just some DocuSigns, because people was having to drive 30 and 40 minutes to sign payrolls, and we were able to get that on DocuSign and different things of that nature. I have an all-electric transportation company where we take people from here to Raleigh-Durham Airport. So as you can see, I'm an entrepreneur. Like I'm not afraid to figure something out, identify a problem, and try to find a solution. And my wife can tell you about her business.
Yes, my name is Swanzetta Stevenson, his wife. I do psychotherapy, but I have my own.
Not just on me, right?
No, not on him at all.
Oh, okay.
But that's what I do. I have my own business doing that, so I do contract work. And I'm so excited, excuse me, to be here with you guys today because this plays the whole mindset, the entrepreneur mindset. Has a lot to do with how you can move forward towards your goal, like you kind of hit it on, entrepreneur or in the classroom, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you're doing, this can help you do just that. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and you mentioned the classroom. There is a version that is designed for middle school, high school, colleges. How can you become a better student? And that student, how do you become a better son or a daughter at home? Because it's really based on problem solving, and it's based on you being able to solve the problem instead of waiting on others. I know folk waiting on to pay the student loans off. Okay, if that happens, cool. But in the meantime, the entrepreneur says problem solving. How do I take care of that?
Yes, yes.
How do I find a different resource to take care of that? That's how the entrepreneur's mindset will work. You won't just wait for that one source. It might be another source over here. You just got to go find it and go get it.
That's right.
So we'll keep rolling.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I mentioned a few things that's on the board here. Some of the things, 20 years in the Navy, business consultant. I had the all-electric transportation company. We're very involved in the community. Been involved in homeless shelter volunteering for probably, 12, 13, 14 years with that. I'm on a school board at my kids' school. I'm on a school board. So that my mindset, I'm trying to give y'all some nuggets. You got to be out there. I would love to just stay home in my 4 walls, cut my heat on, get my little blanket that I got that I have when my daughters aren't taking it somewhere, and just sit at home and just enjoy my life. But it's something inside of us, probably in this room and on the other side of that camera, that says, I want to help somebody else. And at the same time, while I'm helping somebody else, I actually be helping myself. I'll be fulfilled, and as a business, we'll make money as well. Isn't that the perfect world? Doing something you love, getting paid, and you're helping people? Everybody's mind does not work that way, but an entrepreneur's mind does work that way. Oh, digital marketing and cinematographer. So those of you that are on the other side of the camera, you can't see the camera. My camera's sitting back there, but I went back to school at the young age of 48 and got my first degree. My first degree. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I wasn't trying to prompt a clap, but since you started it, thank you so much. You know, but I identified a problem with my YouTube channel. I wanted to make better videos, and instead of waiting, I went back to school to learn cinematography. And on the marketing side, I'm currently working on my master's in digital marketing, because my consulting firm, I want to learn the ins and outs of marketing and helping my business and other businesses grow. Entrepreneur mindset.
So what do you shoot with Mr. Steve?
Well,
Cinematographer.
as a cinematographer, for big stuff, I use my Sony FX6. For smaller items, I have what's called the DJI Pocket camera. DJI makes drones. Now, for some day-to-day social media stuff, iPhone. Just breaking it down to you, because some people say, well, I don't have that camera. I don't have the top tier. iPhone is 4K. That camera on the back of your iPhone or your Android.
Thank you.
Yeah, someone said, I kept hearing Android. I'm like, why am I hearing Android? Mention it. Yeah, Android. Yeah, they work too. That camera is powerful. A lot of your big social media accounts, name your company, they're using the cell phone, because there's a realness that people connect to when the video looks real. When it looks too professional, it doesn't connect. Because a real video, you connect to it, it feels like you might have shot that video. So companies are using cell phones a lot these days. So here are a few objectives, and I'm not gonna, what they call it, death by PowerPoint. You know, I read the PowerPoint, but redefining what entrepreneurship, I wanted to say that. And we're gonna get into what is the definition of entrepreneurship based on the Ice House program. And I think I mentioned that it is a 5-day program. And over the 5 days, we'll learn the 8 core concepts over those 5 days. And there's also a online component. So you'll be able to go home. It's homework. Yeah, you got homework to do. So you'll get a free book. Oh, let me see the book. Yeah. So as a student, you'll get the book, because the course is based on this book. And we're gonna meet Uncle Cleve. He's on this book. Uncle Cleve grew up during segregation, Jim Crow era, but he in a small town. But he managed to create his own business called the Ice House before refrigerators when it was in everybody's home. So Ice Houses was big business. And even though he couldn't go in the front door of the bank in his town, he had money in the bank, and he came in through the back door. He didn't let the fact that he couldn't come in through the front door stop him. Entrepreneur mindset. Well, I can't go in the bank, so why would I put money in there? Why would I create a business? That's what he did. And the course is based on his life and the 8 core concepts that he used to survive back during that era. And the book was co-authored by his nephew, Mr. Tolbert, and Mr. Tolbert connected with a guy named Gary Shoniger. And Gary Shoniger was going around the country interviewing hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs, trying to figure out what's so special about these entrepreneurs to create something. And out of the hundreds and hundreds of people that he interviewed, when he interviewed Mr. Tolbert, something clicked, like, hey, something different about this story than any other person that I talked to. So they got real close, and he wrote this book. And we'll talk more about that. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but entrepreneurs are problem solvers. Entrepreneurs are problem solvers. curious. Well, why does it take so long to go through the McDonald's line and not that long through the Chick-fil-A line? Clearly, Chick-fil-A has a bunch of entrepreneur mindset folk. They figured it out. I remember back in the day, the average fast food line, nobody was outside taking orders. What? Chick-fil-A, next thing you know, they all outside. So you know what that tells me? When I'm coming down whatever street and I see 30 cars in the Chick-fil-A line and one car in the McDonald's line, I bet you I'll get out before that one car in the McDonald's line. I have that confidence in Chick-fil-A because someone said, have you ever thought about going outside and taking the orders and getting them in? No, I never thought of that, but I think we'll be rich by doing that. Yeah, that's an entrepreneur mindset. Down a little bit further, networking. Man, networking is crazy. Well, I've never been to a networking event, or I don't have the right clothes for a networking event. Oh, a networking event is when you go to the library, and as Mr. Ricardo was telling me, when you go to that gym, let's say a higher tier gym, maybe some higher type people might be in there if that's what you're particularly looking for. Well, where do the people hang out at the things that you like to do? Well, I have a new hair care product. No, I don't, but this is an example. I have a new hair care product, right? So maybe I go to a couple hair stylist place and, maybe become a customer of one of them. And that's networking. And those are some of the things that we're going to talk about. I like this right here, self-direction and self-regulation, self-awareness. In here, we don't wait on others. The entrepreneur says, it's something in here that just won't let me sit down and watch these people do what they're doing. They're failing. I know how they could succeed. And sometimes we get in trouble because we take things over, and I think the director here, Rico, would co-sign on that, because he always think I'm trying to take over stuff when I'm not. I'm trying to help. That's my mind is always like, hey, you ever thought about doing this? But that probably should come from him instead of me. Or like during a meeting, we talking about one thing, then I bring up something different because I just thought about it and I don't want to forget it. And then, he'll get mad at me and like stop me and embarrass me in front of other people. Yeah. But an entrepreneur has that type of, flow. So don't feel bad. And I'm not sure, I don't know if it was a quote, but I'll just say this. A long time ago, before people knew what like attention deficit disorder was, those kids were like punished. Then somebody figured out those kids actually learn differently. Those kids are brilliant. They just can't sit in the desk. There's nothing wrong with them. Somebody figured, there was an entrepreneur that figured that out. That type of mindset, instead of continually punishing these kids, it's like, let's figure them out. And that's what it did. And that's what the entrepreneur mindset is good for. So again, what is the entrepreneur mindset? Where does it come from? What do y'all think? Where does the entrepreneur mindset come from? Anybody? Because it's a discussion, it's a family round table. Where do you think it comes from, the entrepreneur mindset? I'll give you one place that it comes from. For me, poverty. We grew up in extreme poverty. Like, we didn't have a bathroom in our house until 4th grade. So we had an outhouse behind the house. So the first time I had a bathroom where you could flush I was in 4th grade. And that was moving to the inner city projects in Durham, North Carolina. So someone might say, they live in the projects, that's bad. We were happy to have our first bathroom. Perspective, mindset. I'm in the projects like, oh, we got a bathroom. Wow, this is crazy. Running water, that's crazy. Man, we doing it. We moving on up like the Jeffersons. Someone across the street would be like, man, I feel sorry for them folk over there in the projects. Mindset. And that's what we're talking about, mindset. So wherever it comes from, whatever it's derived from, it's important to kind of understand where it comes from because that can oftentimes be the very thing that keep you going when the business gets down. I would like to say it becomes your why, knowing what your why is. Because trust me, as an entrepreneur, I don't know about y'all, We done had some flops. We done had some flops. Hey, everybody on Facebook, I got a new business. We selling t-shirts, y'all. We printing them up. Yes, sir. Hit the like button. The order link is below. I already done ordered 1,000 shirts. They at the house right now. You know, I took next month rent money and ordered 1,000 shirts. Cause I know I got 4,000 friends on Facebook. So shoot, 4,000 friends. If 1,000 buy $2 a shirt, we up. We all the way up. We all the way up. And then what happens? They don't even hit the like button. Here they go. Eric Stevenson. He's my cousin. Like, I ain't gonna like that page. Oh, Jay-Z. Beyonce. Taylor Swift. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Taylor Swift got a new shirt. $200 shirt.
Right.
I got to have that. Ooh, oh yeah, Gucci, whatever your brand is, I got to have that. So trust me, I've been hurt as an entrepreneur. And it make you want to quit. It make you want to say, well, is this even worth it? It is. And it's also okay, as my esteemed colleague Lenora Lassiter would say, it's okay to pivot. Because a lot of times through discovery, you find out, hey, doing skiing in Hawaii, not working. It's hot. Every time we put the snow out, it melts. Pivot. Pivot. Do like they do in Dubai and come down to the dunes, you know. Y'all ever see them like, whatever they be doing and folk be going to Dubai, they be surfing or something on the sand dunes and stuff, man, you know. So it's like, that fits that climate. Pivot. Pivot. Yeah. So Uncle Cleve, as I mentioned earlier, and again, the actual 5-day course will deep dive and you'll have an online component to be able to watch some videos and go through some lessons in between the actual classes and get a deeper dive. Because I want to kind of deep dive on each concept, but I'm gonna fight myself and not do that so I don't get in trouble with the director. Because he's in charge over here. Don't y'all forget that. I'm preaching to myself. You know how you saying something? You know, you need to go on a diet. No, I'm really talking to myself. You need to go on a diet. You need to get yourself together. Rico's in charge. Keep saying that and you'll be okay. So this chief business officer at this university, this is just a quote from him saying like, this should be required reading for humanity. Like really, when you start going through the pages and you kind of put yourself into the story and you imagine a time to where everybody wasn't treated fairly, you know, the playing field wasn't leveled, but yet this person rose above the people that were in the power structure. And it's an amazing and inspirational thing, you know, as you flip through the pages. And I said, well, what am I complaining about? Man, my Netflix account I can't share it anymore. Got to get my own Netflix account. Those were my complaints. Meanwhile, back during segregation, you think they were worrying about sharing a Netflix account? I mean, I didn't share it. If anybody's watching, I wasn't sharing my account. That's an example. That was an example. So my sister never had an account that I was using. So let's try to meet Uncle Cleve if we can. Uncle Cleve Mormon, that's his name. And this is a picture that Mr. Tolbert actually had in a shoebox when Mr. Gary Schoniger was interviewing him for the Entrepreneur series that he was doing. And he was like, man, I wish I could meet, you know, Uncle Cleve. And he took out the picture, and that's the very picture that they use for the cover of the book. And, you know, I used to draw or be into art. And I look at the picture sometime, and knowing what I noticed inside the book, it's like you're meeting him. It's like, man, this is a tough dude. Imagine what he went through just walking to the store, just walking to his ice house or getting in his truck, imagine the things that he heard, that he easily could have turned around and went back home and said, I'm not fooling with these people. And the things that I'm gonna say I complain about are I can't even compare. So that has really encouraged me to keep going on some things that I easily could have put down. And I know there's going to be a lot of value in a 5-day workshop where you're getting all these components. And it's, go ahead. No, it's not a whole day. I'm sorry, it's 5 days, 2 hours. So we'll do 6 p.m. and we'll do it in the evening. So 6 p.m. to 8. Yeah. Yeah. So on 5 different days for 2 hours in the evening, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. we'll be deep diving into who owns the Ice House and the entrepreneur mindset. Thank you for that. You didn't use your microphone, but Rico didn't say nothing, so it's all good. As long as he don't say nothing. Here's a quote. The world has changed in ways that now require everyone to think like an entrepreneur. The world has changed. That student needs to be problem solving. They need to have what they call an internal locus control, to where everything comes from inside of me. I'm not waiting on a teacher to say we're going to have a study session after school. I'm going to ask for the study session. I'm not going to wait for my parents to say clean up. I'm going to find out how can I help my parents. Critical thinking. This mindset is valuable in every walk of life. If I was a preacher, I'd be a better preacher. My dad's a preacher, so, I thought I'd just interject that. But I want to show y'all a video, and it's going to be a voiceover from Gary Shoniger, the co-author of this book, with Mr. Tolbert, Clifton Tolbert. Y'all ever heard of or you seen like the Stairmaster? Like in the gym, the Stairmaster? So the nephew, the co-author of this book, Clifton Tolbert, very smart man. He rose to higher heights in business. And the Stairmaster, when it was invented, was a failing company. And when he came on board at Stairmaster, $1 billion company, through the roof. So I was like, oh, next time you own your Stairmaster at the local gym, man, Clifton Tolbert, this thing wouldn't even be here. These would be on the trash heap somewhere if it wasn't for Uncle Cleve teaching Clifton Tolbert, and Clifton Tolbert going out into the world and becoming great. Stairmaster would have folded. So let's take a look at that video. There we go. Let me fix the audio for y'all. Sorry about that.
My world was just like everybody else's world. I had picked cotton every single fall. That's all we did. And then all of a sudden, I'm 13 now. That's almost like a man in the Mississippi Delta. And I'm expected to pick a lot of cotton because that's what all the men did. But then my uncle comes to me and said, I've been watching you. I mean, that is cool. I have been watching you. And I want you to work with me at the Ice House. It was the very first time that I'd gone to work for someone who looked like me, for someone who had his own business, someone who took care of customers, and then took the time to show me how to do the same. Life is filled with routines, things that we expect, things that don't change. And even going to the Ice House, as different as it was, I had no idea that that first day at the Ice House would be the first day for the rest of my life.
Hey, that's powerful, right? So as he
Before I started working at the Ice House,
as he mentioned, where they're from, picking cotton was your future. Picking cotton was your future. So he knew as he became 13, 14 years old, well, all his uncles, dad and everybody, that's what they did. So he was going to be next in picking cotton. But Uncle Cleve said, hey, it's something about you, nephew, that I want you to work at the Ice House. Opportunity. And that's something that we'll talk about a little bit later too. So here's another one that we need to look at.
I'm Gary Shoniger. I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurial Learning Initiative. We're the creators of the Ice House Entrepreneurship Program. We all know that entrepreneurship education has never been more important than it is today. And yet the subject of entrepreneurship is still not well understood. And consequently, much of our efforts to teach entrepreneurship are limited in terms of efficacy, scalability, and scope. In the past, we ignored entrepreneurs. They were looked upon as mavericks or fringe players who bucked the system. Today, they have become the engines that are now driving our economies. And yet, while we know a lot about the inner workings of large established companies and small business management, the entrepreneurial process is still widely misunderstood. Much of our efforts are over-influenced by the Silicon Valley narrative, which often leads to a plan and pitch approach, where students are encouraged to develop new technologies, conduct market research, write business plans, and present their ideas to potential investors. Yet what many don't realize is that very few businesses actually start this way.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, far less than 1% of all new ventures created in the U.S. each year receive venture capital investment at their inception. So while these elite Silicon Valley success stories may capture headlines, they do not accurately reflect the process that most entrepreneurs undertake. Others fail to distinguish between entrepreneurship and small business management. They tend to approach a startup as if it were simply a smaller version of a large corporation. They encourage students to learn business management skills such as marketing and finance, accounting and legal structures. Skills that are important for managing an existing business, yet skills that are not all that helpful when it comes to identifying and evaluating new opportunities. The truth is, entrepreneurship is not management, and neither of these approaches accurately portrays the process that entrepreneurs typically undertake. We also found that entrepreneurs are not likely to be experts with years of experience in their chosen field. In fact, many have no experience at all, and yet somehow they manage to succeed. The real question is how. How are they able to identify and evaluate opportunities that others overlook? What is the mindset and the process that ultimately enables them to succeed? That's why we created the Ice House Entrepreneurship Program. We wanted to design a program that would inspire and engage a broad range of students from a wide variety of backgrounds, disciplines, and interests. We wanted to develop an experiential, problem-based approach that would immerse students in real-world, resource-constrained circumstances that will help them develop critical thinking, communication, effective problem-solving, and other key entrepreneurial skills. And we wanted to create a scalable program, one that would not require the instructor to become an expert in the field of entrepreneurship. At the end of the day, entrepreneurship is more than an academic discipline. It's really a mindset. It provides a framework for thinking and acting that can empower anyone to succeed. And in today's world, it's a mindset that every student needs.
That's it. That's the Ice House Entrepreneurship Program in a nutshell. Yes. Is it lit up? Hold the button down from the side, it'll come back on. Yeah, come on.
I just wanted to take the opportunity to let you guys interject. Like, what did you get? Like, while you were watching that, what came to mind, if either of you want to share?
I like the part where he stated that majority, less than 1% actually follow, like, I would say, the structured plan on how to start a business. Whereas I think, I haven't read the book, and I'm learning. I mean, I think it's going to be an amazing program. Whereas the other percent, we have to really have like those other components. He was drawing real fast, so I couldn't capture all of those.
Yeah.
But he's like giving you real life scenarios and practical steps on how to really be a successful entrepreneur. And
Yeah.
I'm really big on mindset, so I think that is like the ultimate component of really leveling up and being successful in business. Like you said, whenever something flop, what is your why? Why do you keep going at it? Why do you keep doing it when it feels like all the odds are against you? There's something that keeps you driving towards this ultimate goal and purpose in entrepreneurship. So I think that's going to be very interesting to learn those different components that he's focusing on.
Yeah, and I think now's a good time also too, as we continue on, just to say your name and if you're an entrepreneur, what you got going on, or what's your plan?
Right. So I'm Lenore Lassiter. I am an entrepreneur. I am a pivot coach. So I help women pivot to their purpose in their personal life and also in their career. So I help them identify what are the challenges, what are the obstacles that they're facing that's keeping them from propelling to that next level. And one of my biggest components is mindset as well. So that's why I really connected when he talked about the entrepreneurial mindset, because that's the basic foundation of anyone being successful in anything that they're trying to do, whether it's their personal, professional life, or either in business. So that's what I do.
Gotcha.
Well, my name's Chichi. Actually, my husband is a physician, a cardiologist, and he has it. When you were talking about some things,
Yeah.
because his why, of course, is our kids, to make sure that he's, just like my parents. He's an immigrant. He's Nigerian. My parents are Nigerian, first generation Americans, and he's like, I do not want to be here and somebody just push me out, boss me around. That's why I went to school. That's why I started my own practice, because he's seen what has happened to other people, and said it will not happen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
To do that. And this thing about mindset, now I've always heard that mindset is what makes you successful. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But now it's key. I mean, that's right now, my aha moment is like, oh yeah, that's what I'm writing, to make sure I go back and remember and do this. But that's that. And then also with the kids, because we have 4 kids, and our oldest is ADHD, autistic. And I want to make sure that's just like you said. I said, no, I'm not gonna have him work for anybody. We're gonna make sure that he has a business when he comes out.
Yes.
And when he graduates high school.
Yeah.
Next in the spring. So that's why I'm here, trying to see. Okay, because I'm frantic. Because my fear is he goes work. He wants to work for his kids. He wants to work with food, so he can get free food. So.
Hey.
Right now, that's just mindset.
Hey.
But I'm trying to change that.
Yeah.
So that's what I am, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm just really right now, just searching and trying to learn and soak up like a sponge as much as I can.
Man, that's good. That's good. What about you, ma'am?
I'm Tia. I'm a nurse entrepreneur. So I'm starting a small medical spa business here in Fayetteville, and I come from like the workforce, hospital. I've done a bunch of things, but I'm just tired of working a regular 12-hour shifts. And my passion is beauty, helping the girls, women feel better about themselves. So I feel like this is a new journey for me that, aligns with who I am.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I lost it what I was going to say. But when you just work for someone else, like, it does something to your mind.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, you should do what you love. And I feel like this is what I love. And it just aligns with my purpose.
Yeah. No, good stuff. What about you, ma'am?
I am Latoria.
Hello.
I did not ignore your email yesterday.
No. I knew. When I heard when you came in, I was like, is that the same lady I emailed?
Yes, I am. I did not.
Yeah.
So that means Rico, you didn't.
I did.
See, I understand.
Yes.
Already.
Yeah.
In less than an hour, I understand.
Yeah.
But yes, I am a rising entrepreneur.
Mhm.
Probably been in entrepreneurship for a long time, dibbling and dabbling.
Yeah.
Here, there, everywhere. Because my why expands why. But that video helped me. I am an overthinker, a critical thinker, a thinker. So yes, so I am looking forward to the book and the class. Yeah, my wheels are spinning every which way.
Yeah. Rico, you want to add anything?
Sure.
Entrepreneur. Yeah.
All the eyes pivot.
No, he good.
What would you like me to talk about?
No, entrepreneur.
I think this is good. I'm not gonna do no emotional stuff today, but
Yeah.
I'm just glad to see y'all in here, because me being in this role is because some things I did in my entrepreneur role. So in the short form, I'm a licensed car dealer by trade, and we grew very fast. When I say fast, I mean retire your wife, retire your mama fast. And I didn't have no control of it. And I didn't have the right people around me. And that took a real quick. So with the success and the monetary gains and the freedom that came with it, not having the discipline, not having the structure, not having all those things, God will put you in a humbling spot. So as quick as I can give you all these things, I can take them very quick.
Yeah,
So
believe it.
I am his living witness of what that feels like. So to go from multiple six figures to less than 1,000, that's mindset. That's extremely the comeback. But today we can say we blessed. We came all the way back.
Yeah, we back.
We back. We all the way back.
We back. We back. We
I'm
rolling.
grateful to be in this spot, so now I can just share my story and my trial and error. I'm not one to be in front of the camera, so I thank God for blessing me with Eric, because Eric loves to be in front of the camera. He doesn't mind talking. He doesn't mind doing these things. So he is my yin to the yang of what I do. And the fact that Eric is in this position, doing what he's doing now, is a total different path than when we met, where he wanted to go. That book that y'all see that Eric has was given to me from the older director, and I passed it to Eric. So now it's passed to his wife, it's passed back to my wife, and now all of them are blossoming and growing in their own way. So that's my intention was to see growth and see it make somebody else better. So y'all are in the right place, because I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we're scared to talk, or we feel like people don't understand, they're gonna think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I want to do these things. Like, they want to go to work in systematic mentality versus, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to work on Monday. I don't want to feel sad on Sunday because back to work on Monday. It's a group of us called entrepreneurs, and we all think the same. So I think the more that we get together and get in these communities and circles where we can talk about it and break these things down, I think the world will be a better place.
No, I think so too.
That's all I would say, Eric. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thank y'all for sharing. I just want to take a moment because I thought that was a great video, and I just want to see what you guys were thinking.
Yeah. No, good stuff. The entrepreneur mindset is valuable worldwide. I mean, we started with just saying the student, becoming a better son, daughter, the employee becoming a better employee, the entrepreneur becoming a better entrepreneur by learning about the mindset. But globally, it's needed in every segment, in government, in world leadership. That type of mindset is needed. What's the problem? How do we solve it? What's the problem? Not waiting on somebody, but we're going to get it done. So we're going to talk about just a couple different ideas, redefining entrepreneurship. We're going to have an entrepreneurship definition on the screen, understanding the mindset as a hidden mechanism that influences our behavior. Your mindset does influence your behavior. You sitting in a chair right here, we don't know what you went through to get here. I might have just said something rude to you, small, and you go all the way off. Your mindset is dealing with all these different things and how you process things. That's your mindset. And your behavior is a result of your mindset. Are you glass half empty or are you glass half full? It's the same glass. That's probably the most overused example that makes the most sense.
It does.
Half empty, half full. It's the same thing. It's the same glass. So, yeah, mindset, half full. Our ability to embrace an entrepreneurial mindset is limited by the ways in which we define it. That's another way of saying glass half full, glass half empty. How do we define it? I don't define it for you. You define it for yourselves. And a lot of times we're told what the American dream is. Go to school, get a house, what's that, white picket fence, a dog, 1.5 kids. Now you're successful. Who defines that? Who set that standard? Who set that standard? Like I know a long time ago, you had to take the SAT and ACT, and some of those tests kind of were built around certain groups of people that had certain opportunities. you know, and somebody one day said, you know what, that's not the measuring stick to get into college, the ACT and the SAT. No, that's not the measuring stick now. Entrepreneurial mindset, how do we define it? Now, I'm definitely not gonna go into detail, but there's a theory called the transformative transformation theory that we're gonna shoot through really fast. Okay, so you got to put your seatbelt on, Rico. We're gonna go through it real fast. Now, I'm gonna show y'all different phases: a discovery phase, a growth phase, and what we call a obsolete phase or a reinvention phase. All right. So discovery phase, and the orange dot represents when you're about to go to the next phase. So this theory says, well, this is how people think and how they move through life. There's a discovery or exploration time period. What are the problems of life? You know, starting that business. You know, it takes a dip. How do we get the business to grow and get into the next category, which is going to be our growth category? You starting that business because you found a way to make yourself useful. All electric transportation company. You cannot go to your big company app, transportation company app, and reserve a ride right now to go to RDU airport. You cannot. How do I know that? Because I've needed to go to the airport. Neighbors have needed to go to the airport. That's a problem. I started a company that you can reserve right now to go to the airport any day of the week. I've been making myself useful. And when we all are making ourselves useful, that feels good when you feel like you're useful. Because if you feel worthless, I mean, that's a horrible way to feel, that you're not needed, that you're not wanted in society. So when you figure out how to make yourself become useful and get paid too, we got to add that part, okay? I had to lean in. Because name your volunteer organization. Oh, you're useful over there. Oh, we need you over there. That's wonderful to go over here and volunteer. But I don't know what mortgage company that y'all have. The one that we set up with requires more than usefulness. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it requires more than that. They put, what is it, a pink letter they put on your door? I ain't trying to find out. Replication happens during the growth phase. Replication. You're doing that thing over and over that's working. You're doing it over and over. Hey, this area doesn't have people that can get to the airport. You're doing it over and over. You figured out something. You're selling ice cream every summer on this one corner where nobody sells ice cream. You know what I'm saying? You figured that thing out. You see how all the women in the area need to pivot, and you're providing information that they can pivot with, and you're growing. But at some point, your business, your idea is going to plateau, right? It's going to plateau. So you're going to have to improve upon that idea, or what you might have to do. If you become obsolete, this is another word for pivot. Reinvention. Reinvention. There's a website that used to be called Angie's List, and they changed it to Angie, just ANGI. Y'all might not have noticed that. So I've been seeing all these commercials. She's rebranded it to Angie, to just Angie.com. My digital marketing mind said, oh, they reached a plateau under that name. That name, they have data that has shown them, man, people aren't searching for this. This name has become obsolete. People aren't into lists anymore. Maybe they found that lists have a negative connotation, you know, like Craigslist. Remember Craigslist was big?
Yeah.
Then they had a Craigslist killer.
Yeah.
Made a whole movie and everything. You know, I was like, wow. So maybe the word list has a negative connotation, and the people in you know, wherever they marketing team say, hey, we got to reinvent. Y'all remember when McDonald's used to have Ronald McDonald and the burglar and the whole crew?
Yeah.
Where they at? They got them out of there. They got them out of there. I grew up on the Hamburglar and all those different people. Wasn't nothing wrong with them.
Cafe,
They turned to Met Cafe.
coffee,
Yeah. You know it's called Met Cafe.
drink.
If you go into McDonald's or you look on the cup, it'll say like Met Cafe. What came up over the last X number of years?
Dunkin' Donuts. They're not Dunkin' Donuts, right? They're Dunkin'.
What are they?
They're Dunkin'.
They're just Dunkin'.
Because they want to do the coffee.
Yeah. But Starbucks came on the scene, the coffee houses and all these different coffee places came on the scene, and McDonald's said, hold up, we got to tap into that. We got to pivot. Big billion-dollar McDonald's, worldwide McDonald's said, we're going to pivot. We're going to knock down some of these old McDonald's, and we're going to renovate some of these old McDonald's and shape them square like Starbucks. Oh, they didn't say that, did they? They shape them looking like coffee houses. They got some high tables in there in some of the McDonald's now. Interesting. McDonald's making billions of dollars. Why they pivot? Because them numbers pivoted. I mean, the numbers got stagnant. Dang, we only made 8 million this month, or 8 billion this month. Man, something wrong. We need to be 9, 10, 11, 12. We got to keep going up. Something happened. Reinvention, pivot. So those are those 3 phases that the study believes happens. And when you understand or know what phase you're in, it's a lot easier to figure out what to do next. Now, the chart has the orange dots. You can clearly see where that person is in their journey. In real life, a lot of times we don't know where we are now in that journey. I'm thinking my business growing, but I never really laid out everything that I paid for. Gas, internet, subscriptions, all the stuff I bought, equipment to start the business. I'm really in the negative. Even though I got clients coming in every month, I haven't really counted the total cost. So I'm really not in the growth phase. I'm really still here. So I need to get a plan to get me to growth. So understanding where you are in life on that journey is going to be beneficial. And the Ice House course is a great way to find out where you are, because it's going to break over the 5 2-hour classes. It's going to break down and point you and hopefully spark something in your mind that'll get you a little bit closer to knowing where you need to be at. Entrepreneurship, as defined by the Ice House Entrepreneurship Program, is the self-directed pursuit of opportunities to create value for others. To create value for others. By creating value for others, we empower ourselves. Now, I interpret that as the more people you help, the more money you make. Because people act like it's a crime, to be a millionaire or a billionaire. It is the rich. Oh man, stop that. Until you won, now you like, well, ain't nothing wrong with them. I'm over here too. They cook on Friday. They always bring me something. I know what I said last week, but I'm a millionaire now, so I don't feel that way anymore. How do you think things get done? Money. So the more you have, and you got a big heart for whatever, man, you can do all those things. As I like to say, we ain't got to raise no money. We ain't got to sell no fish plates. Go do it. You see a family that's in need in Walmart, I'm going to take care of this. And then you just walk off smooth, bang. Because you have the resources to do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't paint a picture of anybody based on their money, high or low. Because I've been at the lowest of the low and was treated that way. I was the same person, nice person. I just didn't have the money. And even as a young adult in the military, driving an older car and different things, and people judge you by what you drive. They judge you by what you have on. Like this black shirt is a $9.99 H&M shirt. It looked just like the $200 Gucci shirt that you wouldn't even see the Gucci logo right here. $200 Gucci polo. it's the same cotton. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna create value with others so that we can get paid. I wanted Miss Dawson. I'm sorry, that's her former name, Miss Lasser, to hear that. Entrepreneur activity is essential to creating vibrant, equitable, and sustainable communities. That very mindset in every area, in the police force, at the hospital with our nurses, they ain't gonna kill you in the room. I'm just messing with you. But, I mean, you know, they ain't on the phone talking and they, turning buttons and stuff. You know, they actually like, let me get off the phone. I gotta take care of this patient. You know, having that mindset in every area, everybody's gonna rise. What they say, the tide rise, all boats rise during the tide, something like that. Yeah, so when the water rises, everybody rises. So when everybody's mindset rises to another level, we all rise, and we're in a better society. Because I know, again, let's just say policing. Oh, they're caring. They got the mindset. Our doctors, they care. They ain't just trying to take my kidney and give it to somebody and let me. I had an idea for a movie. It was called Donor List, and it was on your license where you was a donor, and some rich people was like, we need his kidney. And they were gonna try to get you in a car accident, and then the doctor at the hospital, her husband, would let the man expire so the rich person could get the thing. But they had to, you know, but the person at the DMV told everybody that guy was a donor on his card, and then he matched your blood type. So if y'all see that movie, and I ain't a part of it, they stole it. They stole it. I already mentioned this, understanding the mindset as a hidden mechanism that influences our behavior. Our mindset does influence our behavior. Here's the definition of mindset: a pattern of values, beliefs, and assumptions learned by an individual that has worked well enough to be considered valid. All these things I learned in life, that works, I consider that to be valid, and therefore assumed to be the correct way to perceive, think, and feel. That's a mouthful of what mindset is. Assumptions, beliefs, and assumptions. Well, I assume that works. Maybe it works where I'm at currently, but it doesn't work when I move to city XYZ. You can't think that way in New York. Like, I went to New York a long time ago. I'm speaking to everybody. I'm walking down the street, and folks look at me like. In North Carolina, we say, hello, hey, how you doing? Good morning. So I'm in Manhattan talking about some good morning. Folks are like, and I said, oh. And I went in McDonald's, and I said, I think I said, can I get a number 3 or whatever? The lady said, you're not from around here, are you? I said, why you say that? Your accent. I don't have an accent. You know, I don't hear an accent. And like, you too nice. This woman, she was right. I'm not from there. Everything she said, I knew I was in trouble when at McDonald's the bathroom locked. Where you got to get the key from. That's a true story.
It is true up there in the north.
I said, what? I said, the bathroom locked. You know, because a large metropolitan like that is so many people, and then there are people that, you know, got things going on, and, you know, I guess they would come into some of the establishments and just kind of do what they want to do. So they had security in there, and they had the bathrooms locked. It was my first time experiencing that. Again, I'm 20-some years old in New York. First time in New York, it's just like, wow. Yeah. So what works here may not work there based on your assumptions. It is my responsibility, I like this, to figure out how to make myself useful to others. It's my responsibility. Again, we're not waiting on other people. The entrepreneurial mindset that we're going to learn about in the 5-day, 2-hour workshop, how do we make ourselves useful to others? And it's our responsibility. You keep sitting on the couch waiting. I don't care what that thing is. I had some ideas that people have done nationally. And I know I thought about it before I saw it on TV. And I'm like, we were talking about Bitcoin earlier. I should have bought Bitcoin the first time I heard about it. I'm just being honest, because I heard about it and I saw it on 60 Minutes. It was a special on 60 Minutes, maybe 20 years ago. I'm just sitting on the couch watching it on 60 Minutes. I bet them folk at 60 Minutes bought some. The people that did the interview with the Bitcoin inventor, I bet they bought some. Put $10 on there. You would have a couple $1 million right now just off of that $10 from 20 years ago. How do I make myself useful? Questions. We have any questions, any thoughts y'all would like to share as we round up our time? Because we're ending our time, right? Hour? Yeah. Yeah. And of course I could go on, but I do want to take a look at the 8 core competencies, and then we can kind of wrap things up. And that's not my hand. I'm just saying, y'all, just in case you didn't know. Yeah. So the 8 core, Rico, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, good to see you, Eric. Yeah. I know all the Erics. I know all the Erics. Now that's an entrepreneur right there.
It is.
Well, he owned how many Subways?
He's owned 14 Subways at one time. He built the first steakhouse in Fayetteville, and he currently owns both Duck Donuts in Fayetteville.
Duck Donuts.
I'll tell you again. So he owned the first 14 Subways in Fayetteville. He still owns 2. He opened the first steakhouse in Fayetteville.
Is that Chris? No? Okay.
I forgot the name of it.
Okay.
And he currently still owns both locations of the Duck Donuts.
Yeah, Duck
He
Donuts.
has a trailer, so that's my partner. He stay in the network, just know what's going on. And he told me this morning, he's like, man, I'm 60 plus years old. I ain't tired yet. He said, I'm still living the dream, man.
Yeah. That was perfect time for a big time entrepreneur to come in during the entrepreneur mindset presentation. The 8 core concepts that were derived. What's that word they used that you used in the video?
And I had to keep practicing.
Distilled.
Distilled.
Yeah. These 8 core concepts were distilled from hundreds and hundreds of interviews that Gary Schoninger did with all kind of entrepreneurs. But when they drilled it down, they said Uncle Cleve is where we want to learn from. And the power to choose. We make choices every day. Isn't there? Now, there was a purpose-driven life, but I feel like life is choice-driven. Y'all chose to come here.
I have a quote.
Yeah? What's your quote?
That's my old pastor. Life is choice driven.
Yeah, where your mic? Thank you. For Rico say something.
Okay. No, I was just as a quote from my old pastor, but she said that life is choice driven. You live and die by the choices you make. It's true. And that has always stuck with me.
Yeah, life is definitely choice-driven. Recognizing opportunities. That's that entrepreneur. There's a problem right there. The bus stop, they're getting rained on. I'm going to invent covers for the bus stop. I'm going to sell them to the bus. Hey, I already got these made. All you got to do is put them in place. Pay $1,000. Recognizing opportunities. Putting those ideas into action. Them ideas I had that I see everybody else doing on TV now, somebody else put them into action. They had the same idea. And back when the internet kind of first became popular, I met this guy. He was buying domain names. He said, man, people gonna want these one day. It didn't make sense at the time in the 90s. What you mean domain names? I mean, we could have locked down cleaningservices.com or abc.com, just name your common word.com. I missed out on the opportunity. That idea he put in action, and I went and bought some shoes with that money. Pursuit of knowledge.
And you said with the domain name, just to add to that, because when whenever a company may name themselves that,
Yes.
then they want to create a website,
Yes.
and that website name is already taken.
Yes.
But now you hold that
Ah.
hostage, and they're like, well, we really need that name. They
Yeah.
may pay you 100,000.
Wow, yeah. Oh,
for
yeah.
that domain name. So,
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, it makes perfect sense.
So if you're ever sitting around and you think of something, you probably can secure it for $15, $20 maybe on your GoDaddies or your other domain hosting sites.
Yeah.
Just lock it down.
Because I have one locked down.
What is it?
It's .com.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean,
I mean, she already got it,
I
so.
already bought it, but it's for, so I started an initiative several years ago. It's called Sister Pour Into Me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a conference that I do for women, bringing them together to focus on the different holistic components that we, deal with all the time. So I was like, I'm doing this event, X, Y, and Z, and then last year I turned it into a nonprofit. So I formulated into an official 501c3, etc. But prior to that, I had went on and purchased the domain name, even though it wasn't as huge. But I said once it blow up,
Yeah.
and I don't have to go and try to pay all of this money trying to get my domain name back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because if I would have seen it, I would have bought the domain.
I know you would.
Yeah. We friends, but you'll learn next time. These three literally work in a cycle. You recognize the opportunity, you put those actions in the idea, and you pursue knowledge to learn how to do that particular thing. I never owned a transportation company before. So what I did, I went and signed up on Uber and went to the airport and did that for several months at the airport. Didn't tell anybody. Well, I told my wife. Went to the airport doing Uber, pretending like it was my company. So I had to learn, humble myself. Somebody was like, oh, he's an Uber driver. He ain't got nothing. I mean, you don't know. I mean, not that matters, but pursuing that knowledge and then going back to recognizing the opportunity. Okay, well, I'm learning how to do this. Oh, doing this, I figured out something else, man. Drivers got to eat. So that's another thing. Oh, you should advertise inside the car. See? So by me pursuing the knowledge, I found new opportunities, and then I put those ideas into action. So when people get in my car, I give them a little gift now from Evaton. Yeah. Book us to get a gift. Man, another core concept, creating wealth. Come on, y'all. Doing something we love, starting a business, creating wealth. You can't even interpret that any other way. Wealth means more than barely getting by nose above water. Wealth, you're able to give back and do for others. And it's a certain peace of mind you have when all your bills are paid and you don't owe anybody anything. That's just a different peace of mind. Building your brand, and Ms. Lassiter has kind of already spoke on that. She locked down all the names, on the different places, social media sites and everything. But being consistent in all those places is a part of building your brand. Because if I'm Eric on Twitter and I'm Joe on Facebook and I'm Mike on name your social media site, well, Eric was locked down. Nah, building that brand, you gotta be consistent, yeah. And that's something that we'll deep dive into. Creating community. A lot of times, if you look at a business as a community instead of just customers, they'll come back. Because they feel like, oh, I know you. You the CEO of a $1 billion corporation. They don't know you, but they feel like they do. Oprah was very successful with that. People sitting at home felt like they knew Oprah. She started a book club, or she started a list of things, her favorite things. The company BlackBerry became a $1 billion company because it appeared on her show. So many authors. I want to say maybe like 2 years ago, I was on AT&T website and there was some BlackBerry phone on there, but I want to say I haven't seen one recently. Maybe they pivoted. Or maybe they under a different name. It's the same.
That's true.
I just don't see people like that just going away, fading away.
From Angie Liz to Angie or from Blackberry to something else. So.
It could.
Angie did it.
Yeah, they could be.
It came like 3 years ago. You start seeing them, what's that, Hey Moto, that thing.
Yeah.
Came out and did something.
I thought I remember seeing them on 18 on my yeah.
Like in the last, just a couple of years ago. Because I was like, oh, I didn't know they still work on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought so.
So Eric, back to your thing.
The-
they didn't do the obsolete. You know, they said you had to reinvent. Or you
Reinvent.
remember that? No.
Yeah, but yeah,
They said, no,
cre-
we're not going out.
but creating a community with your business, you have customers for life. I like to call my people at Evaton, my transportation company, I call them clients. They just feel differently. Clients. Versus this person just getting a ride. No, you're a client. You're an important person.
That's why Target, I know when I was working there when
Target?
that's what they don't call them customers, they call them guests.
Yes, yeah.
And the same thing you're saying, Starbucks calls their people what?
Do they call
Baristas.
Really?
That's under you connect.
Yeah, I mean, you could just be an employee.
Yeah.
Like you work at McDonald's. They're baristas. They're trained baristas.
Okay.
That make you feel like, hey, I'm a barista. What are you talking about? I know how to mix 35 different drinks.
But that's brilliant because
brilliant.
now you kind of like shine the light even with us on how we need to focus and kind of hone in on a special term for the people that
Yeah.
we serve as well.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, people are attached to titles.
Yeah.
It makes them feel.
Yeah.
So I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Community. So keep that in mind. Create Chick-fil-A. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Creating a community. So think about it. If you was a barista and you met another barista, that's why they have car clubs. Creating a community, it works. It works. And the power of persistence, AKA not taking no for an answer, AKA I'm going to work this business. I'm going to give it my best effort. Sleepy, tired, I'm going to be persistent. I'm not going to make any excuses like I did before. Out of fear. I think I remember when I was coming out of high school, I had an opportunity to play baseball for a semi-pro team, Durham Bulls. I didn't go to the tryout because I didn't want to not make the team. Oh man, I'm gonna be the only black person there trying out for the baseball team. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna make the team. That'd be embarrassing.
Did you know him yet, Miss Steve?
No, I was in high school. Yeah, I was in high school. Yeah. So yeah. Just something to think about, man. No more excuses. And this is the last thing that we'll talk about because this is my wife's favorite thing.
My favorite.
This is her favorite thing. And you'll get an opportunity inside of the Ice House workshop to do what is called the Opportunity Discovery Canvas. So this right here, you find a problem, there's a solution, and how does it connect with potential customers? I'm gonna read this first block up here. I know you probably can't see it. Describe what problem you want to solve. And this activity, you're actually gonna do it with, let's just say, 5 of your friends. Just like Gary Shoniger went around interviewing business owners and he collected that data and it pointed him in a certain direction. When you interview, let's just say 5, 10, or however many different people using the Opportunity Discovery Canvas, you'll figure out what problems are out there. Think about it. We don't know what problems are all out there. I heard this lady say she was breastfeeding and her child was like breaking out. Found out the child was allergic to, and she don't know what she's eating or whatever. She ended up creating a baby food company. Identified a problem. So think about it. What if you met her and you interviewed her and you asked her, hey, describe what problem you want to solve. Describe the people who have this problem. How are they currently solving the problem? Then you get into the solution. What's your proposed solution? a baby food that doesn't have anything that can irritate them. How will your solution be different than what's already out there? Enfamil already out there. You could never start a baby food. Enfamil already got one. No, that's the wrong answer. Identifying what's out there, identifying competition, competitors, that's going to help you find a solution to what you need. And then connection. How will your potential stakeholders know about your solution? That go back to the whole marketing piece. Yes. Is it word of mouth? When you create that community, when you start that Facebook page, when you start that Facebook group, you know, it's locked. You can't get in here. I want in. You know, you create buzz. Man, over here, it's happening over here in this group, in the barista group. I want to get in the barista group. So that's just an overview of it, but it's a lot of different layers to it. And when you collect all that data from talking to all those different people, and how many people did we have to interview?
I think it was about 5.
About 5? So yeah, part of your homework, you'll interview, I think about 5 different people. You know, ain't gotta be nothing crazy. You're literally just gonna ask them a lot of those questions. And then there's another form that you'll use as well. But I love this, and it's called the Opportunity Discovery Canvas. What opportunities are out there? You may create a business from those 5 people you talk to. And then you continue it on. You continually are asking people, what problems are you seeing in the community? Well, we don't have transportation to get these kids to school. Oh, maybe I should create a transportation company. Let me talk to Cumberland County Schools. Is there money out here? You know, maybe we buy a 12-passenger van, and next thing only because you ask somebody what problems that they're dealing with. And then you have a proposed solution to the problem. Bang. That's the Ice House program in a nutshell. So come on up here, Quan. Swanzetta.
Thank you.
Hey, sorry.
Exactly.
We on government time.
My nickname is Quan.
But together we'll be facilitating the Ice House program, because it's really like a group think process. Mm-hmm. You know, we walk through each lesson together. It's not a lecture at all. Right. It's not designed to be a lecture at all. The facilitators, we're going to have these different exercises to where we're doing things together. Some group stuff. And when you go home, again, there's the online access that you'll be doing some different things in the online access, and you'll read a chapter, you know, then I'll quiz you. You didn't read the chapter last night, did you?
No, but it'll bring all that he just went through. It's going to bring it all together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there'll be case studies that we'll talk about. Those are real life entrepreneurs. Like, for example, you ever heard of 1-800-JUNK or 1-800-GOT-JUNK? That's him right there. He talks about his story. He came from nothing. This is a lady that was in the military. She woke up, arm was missing, you know, at the lowest point in her life, and she kind of talks about how she, you know, went on to do some great things in business. And they have short videos that we'll watch in the class. And not just those case studies, we'll have local business owners too to come and share their story as well. I think we gotta grab Eric to come in and share his story, and you know, maybe somebody here in the class will think about franchising. I mean, we got somebody who knows how to get into a franchise. And other entrepreneurs that we have in mind, or if we're doing something. And just knowing what you do with mindset, the Ice House, man, that'll be
because you know I have the entrepreneurship mindset, strategies to success.
So imagine if you, imagine if you become an Ice House facilitator.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
So we know how to get you, we know how to get you there. You know what I'm saying? We're not gatekeepers. We're family. We baristas. That's all I got. Thank y'all.
Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah. Questions. Yeah. Questions.
Comments?
Yeah. So
That's a great question.
When does the class start?
Look, you got it.
what is it? January
16th.
Yeah. So January 16th is a Thursday. So that'll be class number 1. And then it'll go Monday, Thursday. So the 20th, the 23rd.
No, that's not, is it only gonna be in-person classes? Please say no.
We'll stream it.
Please do.
Twen-
And I only say that because I'm a tour bus driver.
Yes.
And my schedule fluctuates.
We'll
So
stream it.
today I'll be clear, but tomorrow I may
You
be
won't be
gone.
clear. Yeah.
So being that.
We'll stream it.
Yeah, please.
We'll stream it. So
Can
yeah.
I live stream in though? Can I be a part
Oh
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
class?
No.
Stream it and I gotta go back and watch it later.
No. You'll be watching it live, and you have a chat box, and you'll be able to talk
All right.
to us. Yeah.
He wants to interact now.
Yeah. So yeah, 16 January, 20 January, 23 January, 27 January, and 30 January. Yeah. Now 20 January is Martin Luther King Day, but we're gonna be in class. It's in the evening.
2 hours ain't good.
No, I'm just the 16th
You might-
is Harold's birthday. That's all.
Oh, the 16th.
Really?
Yes.
Hey, well, look, maybe you can, we'll work it out. We might let you stay in the class.
I definitely want